How do you see or envision maybe AI and automation potentially accelerating those processes and helping innovators navigate the complex landscape of these regulatory hurdles?
I'll give you a really specific example that relates to the grid. I'm working with a wonderful company that's at its early stages, but showing really great signs of success called Grid GPT. Their whole purpose is to use agentic AI to help in two ways for developers and utilities. So if you've got a new uh, solar system that you're trying to connect to your local utility, or you've got a big data center that you want to connect in some manner, these all go into a queue for the utilities to analyze and determine how does this fit? Will it fit their needs? Can we meet this? And so this interconnection queue has gotten super long. So this is one of the harbingers of growth, but at the same time, if we're stuck in a line waiting to see how the utility can approve this or does it fit within the network, this can take a long time. So what they've done in their very specific type of technology application is to understand what the utilities needs are, their transmission planning now and in the future, and how all of these interconnection requests can be evaluated much faster, from taking 18 months to 3 years to evaluate to cutting it down to weeks and months, so that developers, investors, consumers all can get a much better picture of where their project lies in terms of viability, and the utility and the surrounding areas and their stakeholders can also see how these fit in and how they fit in, or if they don't, so that you're taking the brains of transmission engineering and transmission planning and helping this along in a faster, more robust way. So I think that these are applications that can be really well suited to accelerating the timeline it takes for approvals or permitting.
Well, that's a great example of how technology could really help accelerate these timelines. How do you leverage the community and collaboration to overcome the inherent complexities and resource limitations often faced by startups and innovators in this sector?
Super question. Super, super question. Um, like I said, you can't innovate alone. You can't build a company on your own either. You really need to understand what your service is, or your product, and how it meets the market. And since the market is constantly evolving and changing, having interactions with people who are in those roles can help give you a lot of great perspective. So not only does Dynamo give people the ability to talk about what it is they're doing, but also to find their partners, to find their investors, to find their next client, their next customer, their next deal. And it is within these conversations that people find nuggets of not just hope, but actual practical application and collaboration. And we have multiple stories of success of companies that have been Dynamo members that met at one of our events or reconnected because we saw that there was a great synergy between them, and that deals got done over and over and over again as they started to partner. And Dynamo doesn't benefit from those. We benefit from having the network that actually brings them together and seeing the success of that. And I think that that's part of what makes it so successful, is because our our goal is to put together the right people to find themselves their own deals and how they want to structure them. And that's kind of fun.